Greetings gamers, I'm your cyber games mentor, reviewing various games that are available on your Android or other mobile device. We'll be looking at action games, strategy games, and everything in between, so sit back and relax and enjoy the review. Today we're playing on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Plus. Now this tablet has a 12.4-inch Quad HD screen. The processor is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 with 8 GB of RAM, 256 GB of storage. The battery is a 10,900 milliamp hour battery, and it was released in 2022. Greetings gamers, I'm your Cyber Games mentor, and today we're looking at Dawnlands from CSUN Games. It's rated T for teen. So, Dawnlands. Now, when I first downloaded Dawnlands and played it, I wanted to write it off as a Breath of the Wild clone or a Genshin Impact clone. Just something that's emulating those games with nothing new to offer by itself. And that's mostly true. I'll just be honest. Dawnlands is an open-world survival crafting adventure game that's massively multiplayer. It takes place... Now, you meet some interesting characters, you go to some interesting places, and you see some cool things. So, as always, you know, when we talk about the story of this game, you're awakened after hundreds or thousands of years to the Dawnlands, and you're going through and fighting evil. And you're fighting evil, and we've seen that a bunch of times, honestly, from video games. If you've played a video game in the last 30 years, at some point you're going to be a prophesied hero that awakens to defeat the villain or restore order or balance to the land. That's that's a common plot point. I'll just be honest with you, but Dawnlands does have some of its own charms, honestly. I'll tell you, it's not groundbreaking, it's not genre bending, or it's not defining in any way, but it's not bad. If you were to look up a bunch of reviews, you'd see some bad reviews out there if you were to look now. And they'll tell you, oh, it's like Genshin, it's like Valheim, it's like, all these other games, and it's bad. And I can't tell you it's bad. I won't tell you it's just bad for bad's sake. I want to tell you about the game in context of itself, without the bias of having played other games, without the bias of games that I think are better, but also acknowledging that other games do exist. I think that's fair. I think that's realistic. As always, when we start off talking about a game, we talk about the graphics. The graphics are very... they're okay. They're fine. On my tablet, I play with the Galaxy Tab S8 Plus. I was able to set the graphics to high, 60 frames per second, 960 resolution. And sometimes, and it ran fine for me. Was it awesome? No, but it was fine. How things look in the world... Some things look very inventive. Like, I liked seeing the animals out in the prairie in the distance. Horses and whatnot, and enemies and whatnot. I thought some of the enemy characters looked really cool, and some of them looked really lame. Like, there was goblins everywhere, and I would, explain goblins in terms of Genshin Impact. They look like the Helicurls. they're just annoying little enemies that anyone can defeat, but in large numbers, they can beat you. And if you're not careful, they can beat you. Now, Dawnlands has a graphical style that reminds me of that. It's adequate. The graphics work. The graphics are not bad. I'm giving a B for graphics. A solid B on graphics. The mode, the way that this outdoes, no, the crafting in this game is surprisingly deep, and you'd have to play this game for a while to really get a feel for this crafting. It's very reminiscent of, you have to find all these items, all these ingredients to make your house, your bed. And that's where the beauty of it comes in, the crafting of your home or your base. It can get quite elaborate. Now, it takes a while to get all the materials and find all the plans and recipes for this, but it can get to be pretty nice. But it's going to take you a while to do that. It's going to be a grind to get there. It's going to be a lot of busy work to get there. It's just, it is what it is. And I think there's some imbalance there with the crafting that is going to cause problems for gamers long term if they don't tweak that a little bit. Some of the items, when you're trying to build them, take off so much resources. And going to find those resources takes a while. We've seen this in modern games where the player is given a task to do, and it just takes longer than it should. For mobile games, you're looking at 10 to 15 minutes for a quest. It shouldn't take me 30 minutes to an hour to complete something. That's ridiculous. And I know some of you will tell me, hey, well, this game is available for PC as well, and for PC gamers, and it still shouldn't take an hour. It shouldn't take that long. It's not adding anything to the gameplay. It's just busy work. It's just a way to lengthen playtime while adding no real value to the game. Not making the gameplay experience more exciting or more engaging or anything like that. It's just a task to do. And this isn't just this game, Dawnlands. There are a lot of games that do this. Now, I am going to knock this game for the sound. The sound is drab. Like in some of the other games that you'll compare to this, they have voice acting and they have, more elaborate sound effects and things like that. This game sounds very quiet in comparison to some of the games that are also in this genre, in this space, such as a Genshin Impact. There is no voice acting in-game, and that makes it so quiet. It makes it really lonely and isolating experience for me. That's how I felt playing this game, and it doesn't make me want to listen to it. So, and there's nothing that I need to hear, so I'm not paying attention as much. There's a lack of engagement there. As far as so when we talk about the graphics great, sound not so much. When we put it with the gameplay, with that mixture of multiplayer and single player, I think it shines a bit more. I think it shines a bit more. There's a variety of missions to go on. There's a variety of dungeons to do. There's a variety of enemies to fight. And the RPG elements, I think, are a little bit better than Genshin Impact. I'm going to keep referring to Genshin Impact because it's a mobile game in the same vein that does a lot of the same things. But the RPG elements mean a little bit more. The items that you craft, they can be broken, they can wear out. As you fight with your sword, as you ride, as you craft, you level up those skills. That's missing in Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact leans more towards action RPG. Dawnlands is an action RPG with more RPG elements, and they mean something. I ran into a lot of enemies where I needed to level up a little bit more before I could fight them. I needed better weapons. I needed better clothes. I needed to level up my character's abilities and skill set. So that's good. That's good, but some of the stretches in the game require just a little too much time. A game session for me was averaging like 20-30 minutes for a quest, and that's just too long. So I'm gonna knock it for that. So it's a more it's a different type of Genshin clone. It's a different type of Breath of the Wild clone. It's a different Manheim clone. It's not better than any of the games that it's trying to emulate. It's not better than anybody it's copying. It does not improve upon anything. It adds, but it doesn't do anything new. We have a derivative story, derivative gameplay, derivative, ultimately, game elements. If you've played any of the other action RPGs on your tablet, on your mobile phone, you're going to notice the similarities. You're going to notice the differences and how some of the things that Dawnlands does is not executed as well. Overall, if you like this genre, I'm going to recommend you download it. But my score is going to be like a 7 out of 10. It's not completely terrible, but it's a copycat type game. It is let me copy what other people did. This is not a game that tries to create the wheel. And some things it does poorly. It just does. The sound, I want to play, typically when I play on my tablet, I want to put in my earbuds and I want to just play for a little while, a good 15 minutes, be immersed in a world, and just, enjoy myself. I couldn't, this experience wasn't that great. You can do that. Maybe there'll be some improvements as the game ages a bit. But right now, in its current state, I cannot give it more than a 7 out of 10. And I think that's being generous, but that's all it gets. If you're just a action RPG fan, yes, but if you're any other gameplay type fan, probably not, because there are better examples of action RPGs available in the market, and this is just ultimately a copycat, ultimately a clone. Not, and I'm not saying games need to break new ground every time, but you want people's hard-earned money, you have to give them something special. You have to give them a reason, and I don't think Dawnlands gives enough of a reason to play. down below if you'll do me a favor and comment about what is your favorite action RPG available for your mobile device. That's not Genshin Impact. That's not Genshin Impact. Alright. Thank you, gaming hobbyist and enthusiast, for watching this review. Please follow us on social media so you can see when we have reviews available. And also, if you'll be so kind as to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, the Cyber Games Mentor thanks you and appreciates you, and I hope you have a gamerific day.